Hi everybody, welcome back to Takeaway Tip Tuesday. I'm your host, Ramona Remisat, intuitive guidance coach, angel therapy practitioner, speaker, and co-author of 2 Amazon bestsellers, 365 days of angel prayers, and 365 ways to connect with your soul. And this is our first episode in the new year, so happy New Year. And feel free to share as you're popping in who's on, where you're from. I love to know who's watching and how far our reach is. That's awesome. So as I said, this is our first episode in the new year, but it's a continuation from what was started at the tail end of 2017, because back in November, you probably know the story. I was in my kitchen. I was washing dishes, and I just got this word dream in my head. And I've been working long enough with the angels now to know how their guidance shows up for me. So I immediately wrote that down. But as I was writing the word dream down, I got this full download of like step-by-step instructions. Basically, every letter in the word dream represents a step or a process. So altogether, this is a formula, if you will, that they have shown me to help people really achieve their dreams and desires, because too often we kind of have it over here and we're like busy with life over here and we never get from A to B, right? And this is the year, this is really a doing year. This is going to be the year to actually achieve what you want and stop piddling around is basically what they're saying. So they've been on me like relentlessly about needing to share this and get it out there. And so I'm going to do a quick recap of what we've covered so far, and then I'm going to jump into today's reveal. So the first letter that they actually revealed, they didn't go in sequence. The first letter they wanted me to talk about in the word dream, D-R-E-A-M, was the A, and that stands for ask for help. And by the way, this has become the resounding, like, huge overriding message for 2018. If you do nothing else, if you forget everything else I say, this is the year, though, to remember to ask for help. And that includes asking for help from people around you, or like who can help you with your health, with your relationships, with your business, with your career, with your spirituality, whatever it might be, but asking those people for the help and the support that you need. The second part of that is asking your spiritual team for help, because that's what they're there for, right? So we forget, we can't see them, so we forget, but you have your archangels, your guardian angels, you have deceased loved ones, you have your guides, you have this whole huge team around you whose job is to help you, but you're not asking for the help. And the reason why they can't just override, jump in and start helping is because of the universal law of free will. The only exception where they're allowed to kind of jump in there is when it is a matter of life and death and it is not your time to go. Then for sure they're going to step in. But other than that, you have to say, help me. And then immediately they will get into action. But we don't think to call on them in the first place, so they're kind of like, give us something to do. So that was number one that got revealed. But as I said, that is so important. They just were like on me nonstop. I felt like for about a month I had this happening to me, like poke, like tell people. And I was like, okay. So once I got that message out, then the next one came. So the next one they showed me as being really important is, anybody remember? No? It's the R in dream. Recognize the guidance, because once you've asked for help, they will step into action, but they can't do the work for you, right? Remember, it's, they're not fairy godmothers, right? So they don't have a magic wand that they can just wave and everything you ever desire falls into your lap. Instead, as you ask for help, we need to listen. We need to pay attention to the guidance, recognize the guidance when it shows up for you. And it's a little bit different for everybody. So it might be something you keep seeing. Oh, thank you for the thumbs up. I wasn't quite sure who that was. Feel free to tell me who's on. Pay attention to things that you have a gut feeling about, these thoughts and ideas that come to you repeatedly. Do you have a knowingness? Are you seeing and hearing something over and over again? That's all guidance, you guys. It's not just you making stuff up. But we live in such a hurry-scurry world that we're often kind of distracted and we don't notice it when it comes in, or we do, but then we second guess it and we don't follow it anyway. So that guidance part is tricky. Recognizing the guidance is really, really important, because if you don't recognize the guidance, you can't do step 3 that I'm going to talk about today. All right, so you have to get good at recognizing the guidance, because today, hey Eugene, nice to have you here. Awesome. If you don't recognize the guidance, then you can't do the work, right? Because you might be guided to go somewhere, pick up the phone and call somebody, to write an email, to, volunteer somewhere, to, create a new product or a service or something like that. So when you are guided to do something, then you have to actually do it. You have to take an action step. How many of you have kind of had an inkling about something and you ignored it, and then it came back and bit you in the ass later? Yeah, even me. And I had some of those real bad this year. Eugene knows what I'm talking about. But anyways, right? It's a work in progress, but we have to do the work. This is what burns my ass about people who say the law of attraction doesn't work. And it's like, well, you can't just dream all day about money and have good thoughts about money and expect your doorbell to ring and the UPS man to show up on your doorstep and hand you a bag of cash. That isn't how it works, right? You still you tell the universe what you want, you receive the guidance, and then you still have to take action steps on what they are guiding you to do. And when you can do that while blocking out all the other distractions around you, then guess what? That's when things become easy, right? It's like the people are showing up in your life and the opportunities are there and money is there to support you, and it's all amazing stuff. So it's not complicated, but it's just getting out of your head and following that guidance, even if it doesn't make sense. And here's what I have to say. You can test this out for yourself, okay? Feel like you're receiving guidance? Well, follow it and see what happens. Feel like you're receiving guidance? Don't follow it and see what happens. And just see over time where you have a better success rate, right? You might be running out the door on a lovely summer day and think, maybe I should take an umbrella, and you don't. And guess what might happen? You get caught in a torrential downpour, right? Lesson learned, right? Next time, maybe when that little inkling comes up, you'll think and you'll take the umbrella. So it really is a matter of putting this to the test and trying it out for yourself. But I will tell you, the more you can hone this skill, the more you can, really go at this with commitment and consistency, you will get better at that. You'll pick up the guidance and you'll follow it out and you'll see what happens, and it's going to be awesome. It's like building a muscle. It takes practice, takes commitment and consistency, like I said. Now, they have something else about do the work that, you might not want to hear. This might be a little bit of tough love. A lot of you are out there saying, I'm not slacking. I'm doing stuff. I'm busy, busy, busy. But are you busy doing the right things? Does that hurt a little bit? Does that sting? Do you surf Facebook throughout your day instead of doing stuff that you're supposed to be doing? Maybe there's a conversation that you need to have with somebody, but you're shying away from that because it might be an uncomfortable situation. So you feel like you're making forward momentum, but you're really not. It's about having that, hard look at some of these things, really inspecting your life under a microscope in really close-up detail. And, there might be some revelations there where you feel like you're doing work, but you're not, especially entrepreneurs. And I've done this myself. I feel like I'm doing all the right things, but at the end of the day, they weren't the right things that were helping me further my business. Maybe they were fun for me to do at the time, but they weren't really strategic, or they weren't really, moving my business forward. Instead, I was just kind of going all over the place, right? So really, when it comes to doing the work, think about what kind of work and what is your goal, and what you're doing, is it going to help you fulfill that goal, or is it taking you on this crazy wild detour? Right? So like I said, that might sting for some of you, and I know too, because I've been in that boat and I catch myself doing it. We're human. The key is to recognize that and then shift gears and get back on track. All right, so I'm just going to do a quick recap of what we've talked about so far with this dream formula. And first was ask for help. That includes asking for help from actual people around you or people who can help you in some capacity. Second one, or end with that, is to ask your spiritual team for help. You know, angels, please help me with, and fill in the blank, right? Archangels, you know, the archangels all have a specialty. If you need help with healing, it's Raphael. If you need help with relationships, it's Raguel. If it's help with communication, it's Gabriel. So there's angels that can help you with different things. Also, the next step is, after you've asked for help, put on your radar, make sure your antenna are up, and notice repeated thoughts, ideas, gut feelings, and knowingness, things you're seeing and hearing around you, and recognize that guidance so that you can do the third step, which is do the work, take action on it, do something with that guidance, right? It doesn't have to be a big step. Sometimes it's just a little action step. It might be do some research on something, or like dig around, do a little bit of due diligence on something before you actually fully act on it. But you'll know there's always an action item there that you need to do. Like I said, you can't just go, universe, help me, and then sit back and put your feet up and drink Starbucks all day and wait for amazing things to happen in your life. That isn't how it works. Okay, so I could keep going, and I want to, but I'm going to stop there because I know the human brain can only digest so much at once, and I don't want to overwhelm you. So let's leave it with that, and then next week I will come back and share the next step in this formula. Stay tuned because I may need to tweak the day and time for next week's episode. So stay tuned here on the page, and I will make you aware if I need to do that. One last thing I just want to quickly share is, if you're still struggling in that area of recognizing guidance, because I hear that from people a lot. They're like, well, I don't know, I think it's guidance, but I'm not sure. Maybe I'm all in my head about it, and I'm just making it up because I really want this to happen. I get it. You know, we've all been there. And that's actually part of the reason why I've decided to do a retreat this year, which is really to help people be able to tap into their inner guidance, decipher it, and then trust it enough so they can take those action steps. And it's happening June 8th through the 10th. It's going to be in Radium Hot Springs, BC, British Columbia. And I will put the link below so that if your radar is going off on that, you can check it out. And I just want to make a quick mention, though, there is the early bird pricing in effect right now until January 15th. And also those who register by January 15th will also get a free 2018 forecast reading. So that is amazing value, because that will take you through your whole entire year, show you exactly what you need to know month by month by month. And it's a very, very helpful way to go through your year instead of just kind of winging it and flying by the seat of your pants. And I've been doing these readings for over 30 years. I just wanted to mention that. That's a goodie. Now, if the retreat isn't for you, that doesn't mean you miss out on the forecast readings. Of course, you can still book that separately. And it's coming this year with 5 additional bonuses, because I just really love giving gifts. So this year I've included the reading. So you get your 1-hour reading, the recording, a photo of your cards, plus the angel number decoder guide, right? Because some of you are like, why do I keep seeing like 444 on the clock or 1111 everywhere? What the hell do these numbers mean? So that will decode all of that for you. The second thing you'll get is an awesome guided meditation, so you can actually meet your guardian angels and find out their names, which is amazing, because then you can start working with them by name. The third thing you get is a second reading. So in the middle of the year, we'll reconvene. We'll have another check-in point. You'll also get a tip sheet I've created on what angel do I use for what. Like I was saying, the archangels all have a specialty, so I'll walk you through which ones you can work with for different things. And the final thing you'll get is a complimentary session with me to find out how your angels are communicating with you. Because like I said, they're going to give you guidance when you ask for it, but it is a little bit different for everyone. So if somebody tells you, oh, it's like this, and you're looking for that, you're not going to see it. And that's what happened to me when I was learning this. People were like, oh yeah, it's like this. And I was like, why am I like the one person that, can't do this? but it's because you might be looking for something different than how they're communicating with you. So on that complimentary session, we'll get on the phone. I'll just ask you a couple quick short questions, and then I'll be able to share with you what you need to be on the lookout for so that you know how to start looking for that angel guidance. So all of that is $147. That's it. So if you think a 2018 forecast reading can really help you, and yes, it can, I will put the link to that below. You can go onto my online calendar and find a day and a time that works for you. Oh, okay, guys, I know I've covered a lot, so thank you so much for tuning in. And please, if you feel guided, if you think, yes, this is stuff that people need to know, please share it out. That would be awesome. Because like I said, they are just over the top relentless with this stuff this year. Like every year they have this, key message that they want to share, sort of a universal message. But this year it's never been this like powerful before. It's never been where they are just kind of like in my face with it. So I do encourage you to share if you feel comfortable doing that. And as I said, the next step in the formula will be revealed next week. Stay tuned. I'll give you the exact day and time. And until then, have a fantastic week. Kick off your new year. Do the work. If you're getting guidance, don't sit there twiddling your thumbs, guys. Get into action. This is the year for action, so get going. And we'll see you all next week. Thanks for watching.